Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's 100% Fallout New Vegas and all of its DLCs. I'm going to get this out of the way right at the start so that we can get right into it. Recently made a post on Twitter, probably last week and stuff, talking about that, oh, you know what? No, I already talked about this. Yeah, I don't need to talk about this. I forgot that I talked about that in the last episodes. We're all good. Never mind. We can jump straight away into it, which I think is probably what the majority of people want anyways, including myself, because we've obviously got a lot of stuff to do and clean up, this being a massive game that I'm scared of because there's so many different ways that you can ruin things. But luckily, I found an amazing outline for all of the main quests in this game. And in fact, I'm going to make a note over here to my right to include outline, because I'm sure there are people following along with me that would love to know the best way to do everything without ruining too many things. And I found an amazing post. I wish I remembered the person's name that wrote it at this point in time. I don't. But I will include the link in the description below, which basically outlines the best way to complete everything up until a certain point where you're going to have to obviously side with one of the factions. And that is pretty much exactly what I was looking for from the get-go. And I recently found that. I remember when I ended the episodes before we jumped back into this. Nevertheless, let's take a look at our quests, shall we? Apparently, we're going to follow that outline as close as possible because I would love to do as many of the faction quests up until we, of course, inevitably, Jesus, I said like 14 words wrong there. Of course, until we inevitably break them. So, if I'm following this correctly, we should be able to do this one now. The house always wins 1. Bring the platinum chip to Mr. House. Of course, we killed Benny. Benny's dead. And we grabbed the platinum chip, which is like the main story element. The main MacGuffin. Yeah, if there's a MacGuffin to be had in Fallout New Vegas. I almost said Fallout 76. Shudder. It's going to be the platinum chip. So, hopefully, in fact, I'm going to make a new save here. This is the point of no return. I would like to get the main quest moving, because honestly, it's a big source of stress in this series, because it's the main thing that, again, you could just mess up on, you know, in every single little iteration. So we're going to get the main quest moving, and hopefully we'll be able to do as much of everything as possible, this being 100%, before locking ourselves out of things. So we're going to do this one now, and again, that's why we made that save there, because hopefully this is not going to destroy things.
Where to, partner?
Let's head up to the Cocktail Lounge, or Penthouse. Is it the... I always forget which one has Mr. House in it, after millions of hours of playing this game. By the way, did we turn in all of the snow globes? We must have, right? Because I did grab them. I think we have every single one pretty much, other than the 2 found in the DLCs that we have yet to do. I forget where the snow globes actually are situated. They're somewhere. I always forget. I think it must be on this floor. It's not on a different floor entirely, is it? That would be quite stupid. There's like a whole little diorama. Oh, that's right. It's in our suite. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I think we have everything. But let's talk to, what's your name? Jane. I was thinking Karen for some reason, just to make sure.
Well, hello, sugar. Mr. House is waiting for you in his office.
Well, thank you so much, Jane. Even though you creepily don't say anything when I say goodbye. It's kind of odd. Nevertheless, we have the platinum chip, right? There's no way we can remove it from our inventory. I'm not even going to check. Yeah, this is what we've been trying to get. This is what every faction wants. Why? Well, that remains to be seen. But, again, hopefully this doesn't ruin anything. Let's dive into it.
So, Benny has been handled, and you've recovered the platinum chip. Let's have it.
Okay, we got to choose our dialogue options very carefully here, not only for roleplay and story reasons, but also, again, to not ruin anything. I'm not going to give you the chip. I think we have to. I don't think there's any way to not give him the chip. There might be a way, but that would be siding with other factions. Not so fast we want to discuss payment. We definitely do. We're a courier, after all. We did a job. I have some questions to ask first, and then here you go. Let's do this one. Not so fast, Mr. House. We need to discuss payment.
Our terms were clear. Now that you have the chip in your possession, any attempt to renegotiate payment would be tantamount to blackmail.
Well, I'm not interested in renegotiating. I just wanted to make sure we would be getting payment. I have some questions to ask first.
This is not the time for Q&A. Kindly hand over the chip.
I appreciate his business-like nature, but this is definitely the time for Q&A. I'm the one with the power. I could turn to my right and to my left and destroy all of your Securitrons. This isn't on legendary difficulty like it is in Skyrim. You want the chip? Here it is. Give the platinum chip to Mr. House.
Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious. So very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed, on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made.
I wonder what Sunnyvale is. I'm not too knowledgeable about the lore with Sunnyvale. It's not ringing a bell, and I'm wondering if it should be ringing a bell. By the way, I like to point out, we only got 1,000 caps for that. We get 2,000 per snow globe, which doesn't make any sense at all. I would think you would get at least maybe 5,000, but maybe that would be a little too game-breaking? I feel like it wouldn't, though. What happens next?
A great deal shall be happening. A cascade of events with you taking a central role. At the moment, however, all you need to do is take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level. You'll understand soon enough.
The bottom level? Ah, this part.
Step closer to the demonstration area, if you would. I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Glassinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew.
Yeah, totally.
What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated on-board auto-repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. The city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss.
That ain't good. Also, there was a lot of ammo on that table.
Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the strip.
Okay, still antsy here. The house always wins part 1. Every time we complete a main quest, we need to look up there and see if anything failed. I don't think we're in the red just yet, though. What happens next?
To secure the future of New Vegas, I must have your assistance. The work ahead is dangerous, but you weather danger well.
Let me ask some questions first.
What did you want to discuss?
I'm surprised you haven't asked what became of Benny.
That's because he ceased to be relevant when you recovered the Platinum chip. Revenge doesn't interest me. Progress does. Sorry to deny you a moment of primate triumph, but you'll have to go elsewhere to sound your barbaric yawp.
What else did you want to discuss?
Will I have to go to Darkest Dungeon? How will the NCR defend Hoover Dam? Also, as cold as Mr. House is, he is an absolutely great character, I think. How will the NCR defend Hoover Dam?
General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision, as I like to call it, has been to mass troops at Hoover Dam. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them in detail. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years ago, you see.
What's your battle plan for the dam?
A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest by talking out of turn.
Oh, that's nice. He doesn't want to spoil anything.
What else did you want to discuss?
Should we say this? I should let you know that I planted a surveillance device on one of your data terminals? That's a very interesting dialogue option here. You know, I want to go for it just literally because I don't think it's going to have any repercussions, and also Avery is extremely honest. I should let you know that I planted a surveillance device on one of your data terminals.
Yes, I know. It was detected immediately and deactivated, let's see, 39.735 seconds after you planted it. You thought I wouldn't notice?
That's it? Oh god, I thought the animations from the Securitrons were about to get, hello? I think we're still talking.
Have you found the courage to do what's necessary?
Well, I don't know what you... Yeah, let's do this first. I don't know if I want to rat out Emily, though. I think we just tell him that we placed the bug and that's that. What are your plans for New Vegas?
I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce my rightful claim. Not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more present and insidious threat.
How do you intend to enforce your claim on the city?
To enforce, one must have force, a position of strength. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave, I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the 3 families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR to the bargaining table.
Wasn't the NCR's army big enough to defeat your Securitrons and the 3 families?
Indeed it was, and still is. But not without taking significant casualties. Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control of Hoover Dam? Oh, yes. They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a Legion offensive. And so they negotiated. Not out of the kindness of their hearts, as they try to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice. God, this game is so well written. Honestly, there's a lot of, missing pieces because of the rush development or whatever. Cough. But still, it's such a great... I don't know, you have all these forces going together and it feels believable. You know what I mean? What are the terms of your treaty with the NCR? NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be one. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their engineers repaired the dam. Written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians from visiting the Strip. That's how I harnessed the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the engine of my growing economy. Smart! You would go to war against the NCR? The salient issue is that they will go to war with me, if given the chance. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's Legion. The final battle between those 2 armies is fast approaching.
I can't afford to let either side win on their terms. What else did you want to discuss?
What's the deal with the snow globe collection?
What of it? I enjoy them. There's something about a little diorama set inside a glass dome that I find pleasing. If you run across any out in the wastes, turn them in to Jane. She'll compensate you. What else did you want to discuss?
Yeah, I already did all of them except for the 2 that, you know, wouldn't even come out. It's the 4 that wouldn't even have been out by the time that this game released.
Where does New Vegas get all its electricity?
I don't care about this one.
The NCR.
Yeah, the dam. Duh.
What was Vegas like before the war?
It was a place of splendor. As magnificent as today's strip may seem, it's but a shadow of the neon paradise that was Las Vegas. I grew up not far from here, and though I traveled the old world extensively, I never found another place like it.
Yeah, me neither. Been to Vegas and it's insane. There's literally nowhere else like it. It's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, but it was an interesting trip to say the least.
You say that you saved Las Vegas. How?
By 2065, I deemed it a mathematical certainty that an atomic war would devastate the Earth within 15 years. Every projection I ran confirmed it. I knew I couldn't save the world, nor did I care to, but I could save Vegas, and in the process, perhaps save mankind. I set to work immediately. I thought I had plenty of time to prepare. As it turned out, I was 20 hours short.
What preparations did you make to save Las Vegas?
On the day of the Great War, 77 atomic warheads targeted Las Vegas and its surrounding areas. My networked mainframes were able to predict and force transmit disarm code subsets to 59 warheads, neutralizing them before impact. Laser cannons mounted on the roof of the Lucky 38 destroyed another 9 warheads. The rest got through, though none hit the city itself. A suboptimal performance, admittedly. If only the platinum chip had arrived a day sooner.
Oh! For whatever reason, I always thought New Vegas just wasn't targeted. But it makes sense. Interesting. I mean, yeah, because it's like one of the only spots ever that's not hit.
Why didn't the platinum chip arrive on time?
The platinum chip was printed in Sunnyvale, California on October 22nd, 2077, the day before the Great War. It was to have been delivered by courier the following afternoon, but by then, the world had ended. The chip contained vital software upgrades, but not just for my Securitrons. Every aspect of the missile defense grid would have been upgraded too. Given that I had to make do with buggy software, the outcome could have been worse. I nearly died as it was.
How did you nearly die defending Vegas?
Software glitches set off a cascade of system crashes. I had to take the Lucky 38's reactor offline, lest it melt down. For nearly 5 years, I battled power outages and more system crashes until I finally managed to reboot my data core with an older version of the OS. I spent the next few decades in a veritable coma, but I survived, obviously, and eventually thrived.
Let's talk about how great the voice actor is for Mr. House, by the way. I know I talk about voice actors all the time, but seriously, this character is so memorable from this game.
Let's talk about that mission after all.
The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill.
Caesar has already invited me to the fort.
I'm not surprised. The Legion has spies on the Strip.
What's in it for me?
I'm not offering you an incentive as crude as money, though there'll be plenty of that. What I'm offering you is a ground floor opportunity in the most important enterprise on Earth. What I'm offering is a future. For you, and for what remains of the human race.
Honestly, wow. I had a different idea for where Avery was gonna go. I've kind of been wrapped into why have I never worked with Mr. House, I wonder? I mean, I'm sure I have, but I typically go for the NCR. If what he's saying is true, The only really big negative is that he's going to have an army of very violent and dangerous robots, which in and of itself is a huge, huge, huge bad idea for, you know, humanity. But if he's actually trying to, you know, save humanity and work towards that goal, it's somewhat, you know, dignified. I can't think of the right word, but you know what I mean. What do you want me to do there?
I want you to open a hatch in the basement of the derelict weather station atop Fortification Hill. You'll recognize it on sight. The hatch bears the logo of the Lucky 38, same as the Platinum chip.
What's inside the hatch?
Something very important. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, so don't bother asking.
Yeah, this is only my life. How do I open the hatch?
You can't, but the chip can. The hatch will recognize the Platinum chip and open sesame.
Alright, I'll do as you ask.
Here, take the Platinum chip again. You will need it. Upon arrival at the fort, it's likely that you'll be searched and the chip taken from you. Don't worry, it will come back to you.
Okay, so that was a big lore/dialogue dump, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I wanted to listen to all of that. Okay, that freaked me out. Don't be saying things like that.
Penthouse floor. Where to, partner? Casino floor.
Casino floor. Okay, now we might get some more dialogue as we head out here. Yeah, I wanted to go through all of that because actually I'm really wrapped up in the story. Man, seriously, New Vegas's writing is fantastic. I'm not just saying that because obviously, again, it's contingent on how well my channel does, usually based on how much I'm enjoying the game and how much, you know, obviously it's better for people to watch if I'm actually having a good time versus not having a good time or, you know, forcing something clearly. But seriously, that's not why I'm saying this. This now that I'm older, I'm just appreciating everything about the dialogue and the writing much more so. A lot of this went over my head when I first played this back in high school. It's just fantastic. So I wanted to listen to all of that. Sorry it took 20 minutes if you hate dialogue. Or if you've already heard all of this, of course. Now, I want to see if an NPC is going to talk to me here. I was thinking there might be a chance. So, there are two quests we really need to keep an eye out for in terms of popping up. That is going to be... Well, I'm not going to say what they are. But I will point them out if they pop up. And so far, they have not popped up, which is a very good thing. They're two specific quests that have, you know, specific names. Oh, man. With New Vegas, the controller is so sensitive. I think I was mentioning this when we were recording it in the past.
Oh, hi. Thanks again for helping us with that data. I mean, the feed only lasted about 30 seconds, and it's not that useful, but, well, we tried.
I wanted to say that she looks like somebody familiar in the last episode. Now I know who it was. It's Laura Prepon, I think is her name, right? From Orange is the New Black and That 70s Show. Donna. Looks a little bit like her, I think. Is there another way to get Mr. House's data?
After 2 tries, I think I've learned enough. I'm sure there's something more promising I could be helping the other followers with. Oh yeah. I didn't tell you about the first time. I'd rather not talk about it if you don't mind.
Hey, I risked a lot to get you that data feed.
True. Alright. The first try was a little less professional. Someone important on the strip had access to some of House's technology. Specifically, a Securitron. And more specifically, the someone was Benny. I know, he shot you in the head and everything. But this was a while ago. I knew he was sleazy, but I didn't realize he was so cold-blooded.
Neat! I don't think I've ever had that little dialogue option. Goodbye.
See you when I see you.
Okay, I wanted to check if there was anything more to do with her, and I guess not. So, the house always wins 2. Use the platinum chip to open the secret bunker at Fortification Hill, which ties into Render unto Caesar. Travel to Cottonwood Cove and take the barge up the river to the fort. So these boats should be leading to the same exact place, and I think we're okay to do this now. We're going to go to the sniper's nest where we picked up the... What is it called? I'm forgetting the name of it, but I always get it in every single playthrough I do, pretty much. You know the one. Nevertheless, we also should be pardoned, I do believe, from getting shot at by Caesar's Legion. So we're going to hope that that's the case, and we're also not going to take Arcade Gannon. Although I was thinking about it, Arcade Gannon has some unique things with Caesar's Legion. I think in a good way. Like, he hates them. He doesn't like them. It's a very bad experience for him. But for us, I think we might be able to, like, you know, get some progress towards his companion quest. I'm not sure how that is. Also, I know there is, but anyways, I think we'll be safe is my point. So we're going to leave Arcade Gannon. I don't want to go the opposite way and have something really bad happen, which also might happen. It's pretty confusing. Nevertheless, there is another Wild Wasteland instance, I think, like, right over here, right? Yep, see that red text?
Halt! What business have you in Cottonwood Cove, outsider?
Show mark of Caesar, I was invited. I'm just a humble trader passing through. I go where I please. Can't miss out on that experience, right? I'm just a humble trader passing through.
Very well, you may proceed. However, be warned. Aggressive acts against us will earn you a place on a cross.
I think all of the Caesar's Legion are basically just, like, super duper sexually repressed. They have so much anger. I think they just need to, you know, relax in whatever way, shape, or form that's going to be best for them. So here we have it. Remains? What? Unt Domus? It's obviously, like, Latin, I think. Is that a Monty Python reference? I forget. And also, I'm going to make a save here just in case we don't get a better thumbnail than that. That's not the greatest of thumbnails, but it's a little eye-catching, I guess. Anyways, I forget what this is. I do remember that it's here, but I don't remember what it's a reference to. It might be another Monty Python reference, and if it is, it would explain why I don't know what that means, because I've never seen any Monty Python stuff whatsoever. Yes, I know I need to, and I do think I would like it, but I just haven't, for whatever reason. Like, what do I start with? The Holy Grail? That's the good one, right? There's like a whole bunch of Monty Python stuff.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver?
Awe. Who are you?
I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go?
What'll happen at the fort?
You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor.
Oh, maybe that's what I meant in the last episode. Maybe like an Obsidian-made new Fallout that took place more in California with all, like New Reno and all those other places, the NCR home turf and everything. Now that would be insane. I'm ready to travel with you.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat.
Okay, I really should have saved.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. This order also extends to the platinum chip you carry. For now.
What is considered a banned item?
Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items.
Now, it's good that I see this, because I was going to say, you're going to take my stim packs? Are you serious? I have to bring him along. A congenital heart defect.
I know not why Caesar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Caesar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort.
I love how people try to, like, argue for Caesar's Legion. It's like, I think I've said this so many times before. It's like, what? How can you argue that, like, Caesar's Legion is in any way a good thing? But that's just me, I guess. Keep holdout weapons. Sure, I agree to disarm.
Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. Awe.
Awe. Yeah. Awe. Your way. The highway, right? Doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't even mean anything. Now, what's interesting here is that there are apparently side quests in Caesar's Legion, Caesar's Legion. I'm going to make note of all of them before I record the next episode, because obviously this is an instance where we could be locked out once again. So we're going to try to not have that happen. I don't remember there being too many interesting ones, though.
Excuse me.
Jeez. So yeah, we've got people hanging on crosses, we've got slaves, but yeah, try to argue for Caesar's Legion without trying to be a devil's advocate. Go ahead, do it. No, it's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I think this is just overtly, these are the bad guys. But whenever there's like a clear and obvious villain, people usually try to, you know, play devil's advocate to give them some motivation. I don't know. Nevertheless, I guess we'll just head on in. So one really cool thing that we didn't do in this playthrough is that there's another way to handle Benny, and I won't spoil it fully, because if you play this game yourself, you can do it if you'd like, but it involves this little area right here, and it's quite an interesting way to do it, and I have done it in the past. Probably the most interesting way to do, to deal with Benny, but of course we're doing a different path with Avery here. We're gonna meet the man, the myth, the legend himself, and then we'll call it an episode. But before we enter the tent, let's make a new save, because this could be a very important save. And let's head inside Kaisar's tent.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Kaisar. What were you thinking?
I wanted to get some fashion tips. You've clearly got a neat outfit. Like, I just wanted to know, like, you know, how can I be more like you? Death to tyrants, start combat. Kind of really want to do that one, but we can't. Yeah, I need to get that platinum chip back.
We'll talk about the platinum chip when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it. Then something happens to Mr. House's robot, some kind of military upgrade. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started?
What were you looking to start?
The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching.
What do I have to do?
Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried.
Man, a bald man trying to get into a hatch. I don't think there's ever been, you know, bad repercussions from that before. And once I'm inside,
I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye.
Language, jeez, dude. This is 2020 and we're on YouTube, man. You want me to make $0? Jeez. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is Caesar himself. We've met the big bad Baldy.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man.
We're gonna make an itinerary of all the things that we have to do here. I'm gonna make another save. So many new saves here so we don't ruin ourselves. That sounds gross. Ruin ourselves. I'm gonna make it. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna make it an itinerary of all the things that we have to do in Caesar's camp, or all the things we can do. Speaking of the Great Khans, holy crap, we can see if that works in the next one. And we'll attempt to get all that stuff done before inevitably going against Caesar, because there is no way in hell we are allying with Caesar. Although I gotta say, it would be neat to do a big playthrough like this and kind of completely trick the audience by siding with the bad guy. Like, the entire time we're playing as a sociopath or something, and then we turn out to be totally evil. That'd be a pretty neat playthrough. But it's not this one. Or maybe it is. No, it's not. Either way, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much to the patrons at the end of the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, it's me, GV. Thank you so much for watching that episode. If you'd like to watch more of my content, I stream all the time on Twitch. Link and schedules in the description below. If you'd like to go the extra mile to support me and what I do, consider becoming a patron. You get all sorts of perks and stuff. Thanks so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.